Hola, witches.
Sup?
What's up? How's it going?
Uh,
All right. Okay, so in this video, we're going to be talking about Halloween movie magic. This is the time of year where everyone's watching scary movies, practical magic, The Craft, American Horror Story, The Walking Dead. All of these types of movies and TV shows that are they influence and they kind of stimulate that adrenaline, and you get scared and you're kind of excited and you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna get haunted, or fuck, I'm gonna get possessed, I'm gonna die, something's chasing me. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that and how to utilize that in your craft work. So, Miss Melissa.
Ooh, I love horror movies, y'all. I do. That's what we watch all year long. If there's a horror movie on, when we're looking through Netflix, we will look through the horror movies and thrillers first. So, working with horror movie magic is fun. There is Halloween, where you have this guy that is chasing after this girl, and that's what he does for like 20 movies. And and you can work with that. You can work with that as far as, scaring someone who is giving you a hard time. You can also work with that in an attraction way. I would just go light on the stalkery part, But you can have someone chase after you that you may want to have chase after you. You have the Nightmare on Elm Street, and that's all about dreams and screwing with people's dreams, and oh my gosh, the things that you can do.
I know.
I love the energy of horror movies. It's really hard to scare me as far as horror movies go. I think honestly most witches can probably say that it's a challenge to be frightened, because hey, that's in the job description for us. We're working with spirits. We're pushing, our boundaries, and so it's a challenge. So when a horror movie actually scares me, I really enjoy that, because, well, kind of. I bet my husband doesn't enjoy it, because all night long I'm like, oh my god, what's that? Go check, go check. So he probably hates it, but I enjoy that, and I enjoy the energy and just the cuddling up on the couch with the pillows in your laps and just, oh my god, I don't want to know, no, run, and yelling at the TV. It's fun.
It is fun. It's great for inspiration for our working too. I'm in what was it, Nightmare on Elm Street. I can't remember which one, but the one that always stands out to me is the dream one, when he enters their dreams and it's all about scaring them, kill them off in their dreams, and then they take back their power and they can learn to control their dreams and they learn to fight back. So that's a very interesting thing to consider, especially if you want to plant a seed. If you want to plant a seed, you can utilize that movie to sort of enter one's dreams and give that sort of eerie, kind of intense, nervous feel. Because when people, and this is sometimes when people are scared, they let down some of their guards where others are raised. But a lot of times that initial fear factor, you drop your guards super fast, because unless you're trained to raise them up, a lot of times when people are scared, their shields, their guards, it just falls to the ground because they're scared and their initial instinct is to run. So when you utilize that fear energy to sort of drop someone's guard and step into the dream realm, and step into the dream experience, you can plant seeds of any sort. Just because it's a scary movie doesn't mean you can't use it for growth, because sometimes when we're scared, sometimes when we have that fear factor, it produces growth, it promotes growth, because once we figure that shit out, once we're like, oh fuck, I gotta face my fears, we grow. So
Right.
that's a powerful thing. We can utilize that for lessons and experiences, and take inspiration from that and watch the movie and see. And the thing is like, I'm gonna ramble. What you can do is like watch that specific movie and see how it's played out, but also feel how you connect with it. Feel how it feels when they enter that dream experience. What is that transition? How does it feel? What does it make you feel? And that's kind of the important thing when you're working with like movie magic and Halloween movie stuff, is the feeling, because that feeling will inspire you to create and to cast and to craft something in your own fashion.
Right, exactly. And it's like you said, scary movies are twofold. Not only do they get your adrenaline going, and sometimes y'all, especially whenever you're wanting to cast, your emotions are going to affect your spell work. So if you're wanting to cast and you're wanting to scare someone off, and I don't even mean this in a malicious way. Like, there's legitimate reasons why people need to scare other people away from them. Scary movies are like the perfect source to really build that emotion up and add that emotion into your working. If you have someone that's stalking you and you're worried that this person is going to do you harm, and you've gone through mundane and magical channels and just haven't managed to get them away from you, putting on something like a movie that truly scares you, building up that energy, and then channeling it into a banishing candle, doing a banishing working,
Right.
banish them, to the point where they don't even want to look at you, they're terrified, is just awesome. It's a great feeling, and it works so well. So there are so many ways you can use things like that to influence and affect your magic.
That's funny that you mentioned that, because I was just about to say is where you live, what you can do as well is take something that might attract people, if they're at your property, something sweet, something nice, but infuse it with a specific Halloween movie energy. Like, let's say Texas Chainsaw Massacre, let's say Halloween, or somewhere where you have chasing and kind of like intense energy, and it's gonna freak someone out. Imbue that into something like this, and then also take in the Samhain energy, the Halloween energy, the time of the month that we're in, and pour it in here and place it at the starting point of your property, or at somewhere on your property where people are going to come in contact with, and then they might look at it and they might be like, no, I can't be here. Like, you can program it to banish and scare off the people who do not belong in your property or on your property in your experience, and the people who do, they will get through. They won't be as intimidated. But it's perfect, just things like that. And gargoyles, statues, little rocks with sigils on them, but you pour that intensity, you pour that the way you feel during these movies. And like something like this, I can be watching the movie and like holding this in my hand and like and placing it on my heart, because usually when you're scared, your heart races, and so I'd just be like, oh shit, pour that energy into it, that fear factor, that intensity, that adrenaline. And as you're watching and experiencing the movie, you're also pouring energy into this and charging this. And then you have a few other steps. You can get a candle and like really activate and awaken it. But then you have your work, you have your product in order to utilize to scare people off, get rid of the unwanted.
Yes, yes. You can take, like, let's say, the current season of American Horror Story, even though this is a show and not a movie. You can take that, and it's all about these people living in the house, and something wants them out of the house.
Oh.
So you can, while watching that show, hold on to, even if you wanted to say, change the locks on your doors, you know, you don't feel like they're working as well, or there's a reason to change the lock on your doors. Let's say before you do that, take those doorknobs, just set them sort of around you, you know, in your lap, in front of you. You know, especially if you think about in front of you, because if you're like me and you watch shows like that, you're like, don't go in there! Stay out of there! So you're like literally screaming those words into, say, these doorknobs, or a seasonal thing you hang on your doors. You know, everyone's you know, there's those really poofy Beaufont frickin' wreaths. I can't stand those things, but a lot of people like them if you're going to put that on your door, because, you know, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, people usually have something hanging on their door. So if you have those decorations, you just bought them, you can set them in front of you while you're watching a show like that, a show that is centered around keeping people out of a house. And like I said, you're screaming, don't go in there, stay away from there, no, 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 you know. And so you're just infusing those door hangings, those decorations with all that energy.
Right.
Hang them up on the outside of your house.
Yes, I lucky. And another thing that you can do to charge, and this is pretty fun, is if you have your TV here, and if you have something where you can place, like, let's say, let me get this here. Like, let's say you created an oil, or you're creating an oil, you can get quartz crystals and do like a little circle, you know, from your TV. So, and the points are they're taking, you have this towards your TV. So the TV is sending energy here. The point is going to the next point, and then you have something where it's charging this. They're pointed at that. So you have the energy moving through the crystals and into your product. And so you have that where it's imbuing, and quartz is perfect because it amplifies, it intensifies. So it's imbuing that product with the movie, like that movie experience. So there's that, you know, there's so many different ways that you have fun with this. And you can like use, again, y'all, I'll be talking about this for days, black obsidian with quartz. And I talked about black obsidian in the video I just did not that long ago. We'll link it somewhere. But it's perfect for scaring people. It's perfect for creating that deep-rooted connection. But it's not all about being scared, because during this time, let's say practical magic, you know, you can have fun, because the scene that really stands out right now is the midnight margarita scene. And that is a super fun experience because they're like intoxicated, they're having fun, they're connecting, they're dancing, they're just enjoying themselves. So if you're hosting a party, and if it's a themed party, you know, during this time, it's perfect. You can use that scene from the movie to really imbue different items in your house, maybe like some candles that you have. This is a bullshit candle, but you can see it anyways. A candle that you might have throughout the house, throughout the home, where you imbue it with like that midnight margarita experience, where people are like, oh, midnight margarita is super fun. Let's have fun. Let's enjoy this time. Let's laugh. Let's, you know, joke. We're going to have a great experience. So you have those candles throughout the house, and they're lit, and they're pouring that energy. They're uplifting the space, and they're making everyone have just a good time. It helps the host or hostess of the event.
Right, exactly. And even if, you know, you can take the soundtrack to that, everybody knows the songs and stuff, and play that randomly on, you know, have it falling randomly in your music if you're playing music to uplift. You know, after people have been there a couple of hours, people's energy sort of lowers a little bit. You can just throw on the Lime and a Coconut song, and whatever the name of that song is, and uplift everyone's energy, you know, or even play that song while you're making margaritas for the party. You know, that would be awesome.
That'd be super awesome.
So, yeah, you can use that so many different things as far as Halloween movies. Hocus Pocus You know, as much as that is, you know, has several different emotional aspects of it, but stick with the party theme. You know, if you want your party to last, you can throw on Bette Midler's I Put a Spell on You and charge the room with that, you know, dance till you drop kind of,
Right, right.
you know, from that party scene.
Ooh.
And that can be a lot of fun to play
Well,
around.
I like that. And you know, taking Hocus Pocus into consideration, Sarah, her song, her, you know, "Come Little Children," her call, you can actually utilize that. This is a little more healing, but you can utilize that to call forth the inner child, because a lot of us have challenges with connecting with our inner child. And if you need to attract that, if you need to pull that out of yourself, you can utilize that whole song, that scene, to maybe imbue and charge candle or something with, to activate it. So as you burn that candle, you do meditation, you do that connection. It's pulling that inner child to from the depths to the front of your experience. So that would be perfect to utilize to call forth and attract something that is hidden
Mhm.
to come out and play.
Yes, and you know, like Halloween Town. You'll watch that. I love that. I love those
I
movies.
love that series.
I watched them when Ellie, my daughter, was little, and I've always loved them since then. But if you are feeling unaccepted in your community, Halloween Town, you know, it's all about you know, those specifically her daughter finding a place where she feels accepted and a part of a group and a part of a community. And so you can use that movie, you know, to especially whenever, you know, Halloween, a lot of people from all over the neighborhood come to your house. You give out candy and things like that, and you can charge the candy with a more accepting, let's all work together in peace and harmony, even though I don't, you know, believe religiously like you do. Let's all still be a community, you know, and take the inspiration from that movie and the acceptance that her daughter is looking for, and feel that, you know, charge your candy that you're going to pass out and pass it out to the members of your community, you know, their kids and the adults, because, you know, as a parent, I know I do, they get into their candy, their kids' candy all the time. So you're not just going to be affecting the kids, you're going to be affecting their parents too.
I like that. And you know, just the exact same thing I said for like the banishing, the scaring off, you can do the same thing, but utilize like Halloween Town, even practical magic towards the end, where they become an integral part of the community, where they become accepted and they have that experience. You can use the same thing, the same movie, to charge it, but this time it's like acceptance. This time it's understanding. This time it is open hearts and connecting and honoring our differences. So that would be another good thing, especially if you have a lot of trick-or-treaters. Some people don't, but if you do, you can have that during the entire month, but on Halloween night, have it a little more intense. Program your pumpkins with that, and allow it to illuminate the way, and really shine a light on the actuality of, you know, what we do and who we are. And we're not always scary.
Right, exactly. And even if you don't have a lot of trick-or-treaters, your kids, they have, you know, parties at their school during Halloween. You can program the gift bags you give out. And I know, like, for myself, whenever I see all these parents hauling their kids everywhere and they look like they're kind of depleted in energy, I'm always like, here, take a candy bar, get some energy, because it's, you know, it's rather rough on parents to haul kids all over town. So and years before, I've even made treat bags just specifically for adults, you know, to give out, because hey, adults deserve candy too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, and that's just a little bit of how you can utilize Halloween movies, or movies that are a little more dominant during this time, to do your working. You can charge crystals, charge candles. You can, you know, incorporate it into your working, into meditations, into mojo bags, anything you can think of, you can utilize these movies to influence, because not we are influenced by movies, but so is the rest of the world. It's not just a magical thing. It's like an entire, it's everyone. So that's a lot of emotion, a lot of connection that you channel and imbue your target with, or your items with. So that's Halloween movie magic, y'all. Like, that's super fun, and it's super simple. If you have any, suggestions, like, utilize the comments and express yourself. Like, how would you do something, or come up with ideas on how you would use different movies, different shows, because I think it'd be fun to just kind of keep the discussion going, or just do a video and share with us. Y'all, my coffee is kicking in like crazy. Share with us your video response and how you would utilize Halloween movie magic.
Yes, I would love to know. There's so many movies we didn't even talk about, because there's like The Craft, and there's a million others. So yeah, any movie that y'all feel like associates with the season of Halloween, the Samhain season, definitely do a video. I want to see a video. Do it.
Do it now. I want to see a video too, and pay attention, because during the week we will most likely release another blog post that will touch upon maybe some other videos, some other movies that we haven't talked about, or we didn't get a chance to talk about. But this is a brief, video to share Halloween movie magic, and hopefully you enjoyed. Let us know what you think. But until next time, y'all. Peace.
Bye.